Hello everybody and welcome to Pinky Tech, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I clean different components from my computer and keeping my PC clean and up to date. I also use this a lot when I'm flipping computers. If I buy something used, I want to make sure that after I stress test it and benchmark it, I want to give it a good cleaning to make it look as good as it can when you want to flip it for additional money. So as far as tools, what I typically use, first off is I have a Datavac. This one has the brush attachment on it here, so it's a nice, wouldn't call it a stiff bristle, but not exactly a soft bristle either. But I use this connected in. It is electric, so it works as this. It's a compressor or a can of air, not as strong as an air compressor, so you don't have to worry about tearing up components like different screens and stuff like that. But also it's not a can of compressed air, so it'll keep going and going and going, and no use keeping that around. Do have compressed air on hand. It is good for just a quick spray to get things cleaned off. However, if you're cleaning a lot of different components, then it is something that you should do where you just invest in a Datavac, especially if you're cleaning a lot of stuff. So Datavac and compressed air. The second thing that I use, which is something that I'll show you guys today, which I was very excited about, is this. It's WD40. It's their contact cleaner, not just regular WD40. But this stuff is good. It's actually meant for electronics and electronic cleaning. So it doesn't have any residue on it. It's safe on metal, safe on plastic, or at least it says it is, and I haven't had any issues using it. You've got, on this particular one, a big wide spray, and then you've also got the straw in there, which you can flip out to use for different components there. Outside of that, additional things you'll need for cleaning computer components, the tried and true isopropyl alcohol. This is only 70%. They say use 90. I've got 70%. It's widely available, and I don't really have to worry about finding the 90% in my local stores or ordering online, whatever the case is. We've always got it in the household. It's common for cleaning things, sterilizing and stuff like that. So make sure you have some on hand. It's really good for cleaning off thermal paste and making sure you're getting that nice and clean. It's also good if you're getting ready to either paint, or maybe you're putting down some adhesive for, let's say, an RGB strip or something like that. Cleaning the inside of the case with isopropyl alcohol will make sure that it sticks a lot better. So just a tip there. Outside of that, not a whole lot more. So Q-tips, paper towels as needed. The one thing that I really like are these microfiber cloths. You get them in the automotive section at Walmart for a couple bucks. They're don't leave behind lint, so they are lint free. They are soft, so they don't tend to get snagged up on different components. Obviously, if you're cleaning out like a motherboard or something like that, it's got all the capacitors on the back and contact points. It's going to get stuck on that, so I wouldn't recommend doing a whole lot there. For that, I would actually use a very soft brush. I don't happen to have one on hand right now, but that would be a good thing to use for that as well. Alright, so first off, cleaning dust filters. Dust filters are pretty easy. I'm just going to use the Datavac to actually spray all the stuff, all the dust out of the dust filter. If it's particularly dirty and there's some left over, I will take a microfiber cloth and just clean that out. The one thing I don't do is I don't usually spray anything on the dust filters themselves. I don't like them getting wet. They tend to hold water longer than you think they are, so they feel dry, but then when you turn the computer on, they start collecting a lot more dust than they would normally. So that's one of the things I would shy away from, is using any kind of contact cleaner or water, alcohol, stuff like that on a dust filter. So like I said, on the dust filter, just use the Datavac, blow it off of there, and then just use a microfiber cloth to then wipe down the excess. Alright, so next would be case fans, and as well as case fans, any kind of fan that's in there. It could be, your radiator fans, it could be the CPU cooler fan, whatever the case is. But you can take those fans and then blow them off with a Datavac as well. And I actually do like using contact cleaner to finish them off. One, it brings the shine back to the fans, so if they have lost their shine because they've gotten so dusty, you can just spray them with contact cleaner and then use a microfiber cloth, wipe it all down. You still do need to go through the fan blades, so you want to make sure that you're using a Datavac in this case. With compressed air, that doesn't tend to get all the dust off of there, and that can leave the fans getting very caked up. And so you want to make sure that as much as possible you get all the dust off there, then spray it down with the contact cleaner, and then at that point just use a microfiber cloth to finish off everything. Alright, so after I finish with the fans, I do like to clean off the motherboard. So what I will do is go ahead and pull everything off and go ahead and same procedure. I'm going to spray down, or I'm sorry, I'm going to blow it off with the Datavac and then use the contact cleaner as well and spray there. And so once I finish with that, I also want to take the Datavac and go back over the motherboard. This will help get off any excess if you spray too heavily on there. But the contact cleaner does actually dry very quickly, so you're probably not going to remove much, if any, of the contact cleaner solution from the actual motherboard as you're cleaning it there. And then just once you're done with that, if you have some areas that are particularly caked on with dust and stuff that the contact cleaner plus the Datavac was not able to get off of there, then at that point I would actually suggest that you go through and use a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol on the capacitors if needed. And for anything else, use a very soft bristled wire brush, a soft bristled brush, not a wire brush, to then go lightly over any of the contact points in any other area that may have too much buildup that the Datavac and the contact cleaner was not pulling off of there. Alright, and then we do have the GPU, but I'm not going to actually show you how I clean the GPU at this scenario. So that is coming in another video where I'm going to completely take down the GPU, apply new thermal paste, all that good stuff, as well as just clean it off. So you can just wait longer for that video. If you do want to just take the Datavac and blow off the GPU with the Datavac, that is acceptable. It's usually quick, and usually it's pretty much all you really need to do unless you're noticing some temperature issues. I will warn you to hold the fans on your GPU as you're dusting them off with the Datavac, because it is something that you can over-rotate the fans and kind of cause the fans to break, stuff like that. Typically not something I worry about, but it is something you should be cognizant of. Alright, so I've shown you now how I clean components on the computers. Going through there for drives and anything else I didn't mention. Typically it's just going to be wiping them off with a dry microfiber cloth and just, like I said, taking the Datavac to them to get all the dust off of them. Outside of that, there's not really a whole lot more that I would do in that circumstance. Hopefully that helps you out with how to keep your computer nice and tidy and how to break something down if you are flipping a computer, so that it looks nice when you're trying to resell it. So hopefully that's helped you out. If it has, make sure you click on that thumbs up and make sure that you click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll see all my additional videos coming out, including that aforementioned GPU cleaning video. And as always guys, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video.